hello, and welcome to another anime podcast, The Revive. This is the eighth one, and it was supposed to be recorded yesterday, but I was not feeling so great on Thursday, so some things moved around. But basically, currently on my Patreon for level 3 patrons, they are making new recommendations soon for shows that I can react to because I recently finished Magi, which was a sponsored show. And then I thought it would be really fun to hear from everyone. What are the top 3 anime or shows or movies? If you could see my reaction to anything, what would you want to see my reaction to? So top 3 things, doesn't matter the medium. um for patrons, however, they have to choose anime, of course. And actually, I thought this would be a good chance. Ah, damn, I should have had this post ready, but I want to read through the anime that have already been recommended by patrons. So in a couple of days, like maybe 4 or 5 days, there will be a poll, and then each level 3 patron can vote for their top 3 shows that they would like to see reactions to. So these were the ones that have been recommended so far: Psycho Pass, Katekyo Hitman Reborn, Slam Dunk, Code Geass, which I was watching Arcane Season 2 today, and I was feeling like, oh damn, this makes me want to watch Code Geass again. Then Odinoko said Zoid's Chaotic Century, Modern Black Clover, Another Your Lie in April, Yu Yu Hakusho, Kuroko no Basket, Hajime no Ippo, Weakest Tamer, Ascendance of a Bookworm, Baki. I want to see a reaction to You and I Are Complete Opposites. And then Space Brothers from Tiago. So that's the list so far. Not everyone has commented yet, but we got a decent amount of comments, and all of those will go onto a poll. And obviously, if it was one vote per person, people are just going to vote for their own recommendation. So they get a 3 votes. Choose 3 things that you'd love to see reactions to. But for the question today, obviously everyone can answer, and it is not limited to anime. It could be Western series, books, games, movies. What would you most love to see reactions to or hear reviews for? For at least your first choice, try to give a reason why if you have time, as long as you keep it spoiler free, because I could easily react to pretty much anything. Since at this point, I've reacted to movies and playing games and you never know what could happen in the future. So Bob was the first one to answer, and he said, oh, shout out to Espada, Hunter, Booty, Shoru, Dark Shadow, everyone that's here live, Mad Rebel, thank you for the bits. Doji, and whoever is maybe lurking. But yes, Marriage Toxin is number 1 because you already seemed interested by the manga before the anime was announced, and I think you would like it. The reason I was interested in the manga is because Cherry and Panya reads it. And it's on Shonen Jump and it looked interesting, but I never ended up reading it. Second choice, Demons of the Shadow Realm. And 3, Nippon Sangoku, the 3 nations of Crimson Sun. So I actually reacted to that trailer earlier the week because Doji mentioned it, and it looked pretty cool. Very cool style. Kind of gave me Golden Kamuy vibes, and it was actually in the recommended. So on AniList, I will just show you. What's it called? Nippon Sangoku. So Nippon Sangoku. If you go here on AniList to whatever show, if you liked it, you can check the recommendations. So other shows that are similar that I've seen and I liked was Golden Kamuy, Tengoku Daimakyo, Vinland Saga, and 86. So obviously if I liked all these 4, it stands to reason that I probably would like this. So you can kind of like go both ways. If you like this, you would like these. If you like these, you would like this. Nox has a lengthy answer. I love to see it. Anime wise, I do not think it's the right part of the year for it, since it feels more like an autumn anime reaction. But I would really love to see your reaction to Paranoia Agent. It is one of those series that made a huge impression on me growing up, but during my first couple of watches, I knew a lot of the story was still beyond me. It reminds me of your monster reactions and how great those discussions were, because of the realistic characters and complex modern issues. However, Paranoia Agent adds a strong psychological sense of dread that could lead to some genuinely fascinating horror style reactions and discussions from you. So, number one, I really appreciate to hear that you, Nox, liked my monster reactions and discussions, because sometimes when I'm not reacting in a way that I think people expected me to, like, I don't get hyped by the same things, or I don't like the villain, or am as intrigued by them as they expected, or whatever. It makes me feel so self-conscious sometimes, and I'm like, oh, these reactions were terrible. Even though I really enjoyed the story, but sometimes enjoying means like it looks different to different people. So I was actually kind of insecure about my monster reactions, and it's nice to hear that the discussions were good. I know a very little bit about Paranoia Agent because it used to be on a channel at late at night called Animax in South Africa. So I watched a few shows of various anime there when I was a kid, because I don't know, it wasn't really, they didn't have a lot, but they had a little bit of Paranoia Agent. They had Dot Hack. I saw a few episodes of Dot Hack that way. Um, and you know that one with Tenjo Tenge? I saw a few episodes of Tenjo Tenge. I'm pretty sure I saw like one episode of Black Lagoon, but it was a lot of more those kinds of shows, maybe for the older crowds. I don't know if anything really captured me at the time, but yeah, I've always been interested in Paranoia Agent, so I would love to react to that. Then he mentioned Western series. This one is a bit harder to choose because there are plenty of shows I personally love, but I don't think all of them would make for great reactions or discussion content. One film and series combination I think would work perfectly is Fargo and the Fargo TV adaptation. The original film is an amazing late 90s movie with fantastic aesthetics and cast. One of the most fun parts is how dramatically the story evolves from where it begins. Honestly, the way the characters speak alone would probably lead to a great reaction from you. The way they speak. Yeah, I think that's maybe the way people speak stands out to me. Like the way they would even pronounce a word, the accents. I don't know why, but that kind of thing really sticks with me. So I would probably, if it's a unique in the series, that'd be fun. The TV series, especially the first 3 seasons, is also excellent. What makes both the film and show ideal for reactions is that they are mostly self contained stories, so there is no concern about things dragging on too long. I'm honestly surprised the film has not been reacted to already. Maybe I should change that. Ooh. So this is pretty cool for ideas as well. Shout out to Spyler. I know that sometimes he's not 100% sure what he wants to sponsor. And we've done also, kind of like polls and all kinds of things, but this might be fun for ideas, I just realized. But yeah, Fargo is not something that it sounds familiar, but I've never seen anything. I don't know who acts in it. Interesting. And then he also mentioned a book, so I like that interpretation of, the question, which is like you can anything. So Nox chose an anime, a Western series, a book, and a game. So book-wise, I was originally going to say Lord of the Flies. I read that in school. But I think Fahrenheit 451 is the better choice because its themes feel much more connected to the modern world. I also think there's a big three of dystopian fiction that should be covered, and you already did 1984. Beyond that, Brave New World would be an amazing pick. Taking mental notes. Dystopian, a big three of the dystopian fiction. That sounds awesome. 1984 was a great read. The ending really, there's a part of the ending that really stuck with me, but I mean, all of the themes are pretty freaking relevant today. So if you haven't read it, there are read-alongs. If you are interested, let me know. They should be available somewhere, but if you need me to send you the link, comment yeah. I'll try and remember to post it in the description. Then there is a game. You already started Yakuza 0, which is the first step into the amazing Yakuza train. But another game... Wait, let me just cry a minute. I started Yakuza, but I miss it so much. I haven't played it for months, and I don't know when I'm going to get to play it because I have to catch up with Genshin, and then there's Persona 5 is taking longer than I thought, and then the Storyl and Nikki's left behind, and Yakuza's left behind, and I'm so sad. I really hope I get back to Yakuza 0. I was having so much fun. I love that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but... Another game that I think would provide incredible reaction content is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I heard about that. I watched the trailer. Since it's a turn-based game, it already fits into the type of gameplay you are most used to. But the story, acting... Funny enough, when I got back into gaming, I started with Genshin, which is not turn-based. So when I eventually started to play Star Rail, it was really difficult to get used to. Even though, I mean, I should be used to turn-based because of Pokemon as a kid. But I mean, at that point, it's not like I was playing Pokemon. So it took me a while to get back to get used to turn-based again. But then when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, I was so thankful for turn-based gameplay. I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew, I would not have been able to do Baldur's Gate 3 if it wasn't turn-based. Yakuza 0 isn't turn-based though, but I scream all the freaking time. Cause it's... I need time to breathe, I need time to think. Do you have a reaction? Somewhere on Fansly. I reacted to a bunch of trailers when I was trying to choose a new game on Fansly. I don't know where the video is at the moment. But probably the fact that it was a Fansly reaction, maybe I felt, Clair Obscur wouldn't fit the Fansly feel. Because I was playing Nikki, I was playing Star Rail, I was playing Fall Guys. But I did start Yakuza 0. But Yakuza 0, I mean, there are parts where you walk through the street, there are girls, there are guys, there are fights. Then there you watch a video and the girl's taking a bath in a bikini. Like, it was kind of perfect for Fansly, oddly enough. But I guess maybe Clair Obscur got a weird reaction because maybe it wasn't really Fansly friendly. I probably that was it. But there was something else about it. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. I'll try and find the reactions though. Sorry for interrupting Nox's reply or comment. So he was talking about Expedition 33, Clair Obscur. Since it's a turn-based game, it fits into the type of gameplay you're mostly used to, but the story, acting, and animation are on another level for an indie game. Last year, it made a huge impact on the gaming community because people were shocked by how impressive the final product was, considering how small the development team was. So if I had to choose one thing from that list that stands out to me, it would be the Fargo movie because it's easy to watch one movie and gauge if you like it. But I've always wanted to watch Paranoia Agent. since I saw just like 1 or 2 episodes as a kid and it freaked me out. And now I'm like, yes, I would love to watch that. Okay, the next one is from Crinkle Cut. The anime. Okay, 3 anime choices. Ragnar Crimson, The Rising of the Shield Hero, which I watched season 1 of. I loved it. Then I watched season 2, then I didn't love it. But apparently it gets good again in season 3, so I've wanted to go back to it. It's actually on my list of shows I want to finish here, Shield Hero. But I have Eden Zero, Free, Code Geass, Bebop, the movie, Shield Hero, Horimiya Missing Pieces, How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. So I want to, but what I want to do and what I get to do are usually 2 different things. And then also, Crinkle Cut said Sonic X. I have no idea what that is, so let's quickly look it up. Sonic X. Looks like there's 26 episodes. Sonic the Hedgehog is teleported to Earth and meets Chris, a young boy. Together, they set out to find Sonic's friends while also fighting the evil Dr. Eggman. Robotnik. I've only ever played a little bit of Sonic games as a kid. I just remember that, you know, the ding, 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 ding. And I watched the first Sonic movie, which was great, but I never watched the second one. Isn't there 3 by now? Okay, next up we have Dew. I would love to see you react to Code Geass season 2 or even rewatch season 1. When that happens, I'm definitely rewatching season 1 first because I started season 1 right in the middle of watching freaking Attack on Titan. It did not go together, let's just put it that way. You really enjoyed most of season 1, and the break you needed to recover from the end is quite long. It's been a minute. Season 2 has one of the best endings in anime, and that alone is worth the show. Let's do it, guys. Someone vote for it. But there were so many good shows that have been recommended, it's gonna be very tough. Don't worry though, I'm here for the next 40 to 60 years. Oh, next 30, 40 years? Not 60, not 60. I think I'm dead in 60 years. But we will get through everything. It would be a pleasure to watch your reactions to Beastars since it's one of my favorite shows. The overall theme of the show, the overall theme of how to build a society where carnivorous and herbivorous animals can live together and happy, and how to fit into the society parallels very well with IRL important themes to me. And I think you would love to spend hours talking about that. And I would love to spend hours listening to that. That was a tough one for me. It's a tough one. I understand those themes. I guess it all depends on how the show handles the themes. Carnivorous animals and herbivores. Yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. When ideologies clash, how do you make rules for everyone that keeps things like peaceful, fair, doesn't discriminate? It's tough. I think also having you react, I just thought of something really funny. But I won't talk about it. If I react to Beastars someday, maybe I'll talk about it. Also, having you react to Space Brothers is a dream. It's a seinen about realizing your dreams set in the real world. 2 brothers are trying to become astronauts. It spoke to me a lot more about the classical believe in your dreams topic than anything else because it's set in real life. The characters are normal people doing their best, and it really inspired me. Sorry, I didn't have any room for Ippo. Both Space Brothers and Hajime no Ippo are on the official recommendations list, so those things will be on the poll. And they've been on multiple polls in the past. The only problem is I think Space Brothers and Ippo, maybe they haven't been on many polls because I think they usually are over the limit. I don't often go above like 60 episodes for the reason that if a new patron joins, level 3 patron, it'll take a really long time before they actually get to vote on something. However, I very rarely get new level 3 patrons. So I thought, you know what? For those who have stuck with me for such a long time, I know they want to recommend some longer ones, and I was like, let's just do it. Next season might be kind of quiet anyway, so we'll see. Hopefully I can watch a lot. Nora gave an answer. Nora said, Akatsuki no Yona. It's my favorite manga ever, and I feel like they did such a great job with the anime adaptation. So I would love to see you react to it because it's such an underrated gem. I really think you're gonna like it, since everyone I forced to watch it on Discord said such nice words for it, and that made me happy. Plus, there's Huck, and it's getting a second season after 12 years, so what a better time to start. That is true. She literally convinced at least 6 or 7 people on the Discord to watch it, and they all seem to really like it. So I wonder if it's because they like Nora though, and they didn't want to disappoint her. No, I'm joking. I like the art style. It looks very beautiful. I know nothing else about it, so I don't see myself not liking it. I mean, for some reason I imagine it along the lines of Fushigi Yugi, which I named my cat after one of the characters. My first cat. His name was Tasuki. And it gives me like, maybe it came out around the same. Let's take a look. Akatsuki no Yona. Yona of the Dawn. So if we go to manga, it's it might even be the same mangaka because it looks, or the same maybe publisher. Yona of the Dawn, and then let's take a look at Fushigi. Oh no, not the same publisher. Maybe I imagined that or remembered wrong. Yu Watase, story and art. Mizuho Kusanagi, story and art. But 2009 was the start date. This was, 1991. Never mind. This is older. I thought they were like, but they have a similar feel, don't they? Like, it's kind of like fantasy 90s shoujo. Even though this came out in 2009, it has that feel to it. But I told you I know nothing about it. But it looks like something I would like. This one is about a red-haired princess that loses her family and her kingdom, and now she must rise and fight for her throne. And this one is, okay, they're not the same. She's an ordinary junior high student who is spirited away into the world of a book, the universe of the 4 gods. She becomes the priestess of the god Suzaku and is charged with finding all 7 of the celestial warrior protectors. But it's both like this fantasy, and I'm sure there's romance in it. Action, adventure, romance. This one has action, adventure, romance, fantasy. Like, they have the same themes or genres. So, point being that since I liked Fushigi Yugi a lot, I would probably really like Akatsuki no Yona. The next one she mentioned is Hotaru no Yumeri, anime/manga. Another one of my top favorite manga, and it's getting an anime adaptation this autumn. And then there's a K-drama, Crash Landing on You. Crush Landing on You. Jen! Apparently doing the question of the week, and I'm reading through things that people would want me to react to. I'm not sure if you have been watching K-dramas at all, but this one is my favorite and it's so funny and cute. I feel like it's such a great watch. I've never watched a K-drama, but it seems very melodramatic, which is great for, projecting yourselves onto the characters and like, but I don't know. My expectations are not good for K-drama, so I've never even tried one. It for some reason, but see, listen. When I was a kid, about 15 or so years old, I don't remember, maybe 14 even, Twilight came out. And I thought, ugh, fucking glittering vampires, are you kidding me? Gross. I was like, no, I'm a Stephen King fan. I'm too cool to watch Twilight. And then this girl was like, how can you say that? You never even read the books or watched the movies. Because I didn't. I just disliked it because of the premise. And I was like, fine, I'll prove you wrong. And then I read the books and then I got sucked in and I liked it. Because I was 14 years old. What kind of 14-year-old girl would not get sucked into that melodramatic shit show that is a love triangle between a vampire and a werewolf? Like, of course you're going to get sucked into that. And that's how I feel about K-drama. I know, it's terrible to compare anything to Twilight, but just to give an idea, like, I feel like it's one of those things that you really need to be in the mood for. And I cannot even watch people kiss in movies. It's so intimate and uncomfortable. I don't think I could do K-dramas. They seem constantly intimate. I really hope one day you get the time to watch or read any of these, even without reactions. I truly believe you're going to enjoy them. Plus, it would make me happy to hear your thoughts. If the K-drama has comedy in it, I would probably like it. On a more serious note, I like comedy things, so I was just making jokes about my expectations of K-dramas in general, but I have never watched one, so I don't know. Lydia really likes K-dramas. So then there seems to be, this is where the conversation starts. There's a conversation in between the answers about shows that are interesting versus gory versus lots of different things, but it's not relevant, so I'm going to try and skip those, even though the topic is very, very interesting. But that's maybe a conversation for another day. Mad Rebels answer. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Good voice acting, OST, visuals, gameplay, and story. Worth it. Animated series Legend of Korra. I think it's worth watching to see what Aang's victory at the end of his show led the world to and the legacy he left behind. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna just watch. If I want that theme, I'm gonna watch Boruto before I watch anything else. I personally think there's plenty of generally good stuff in the show. I reacted to Avatar maybe 3 years ago. Someone sent me a message the other day about my thoughts on Katara. I was very confused. I was like, I don't remember anything that I said. But I tried to read through it. But it's been so long, I couldn't really focus. Sorry, I'm just gonna... Not enough. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I saw one clip of Legend of Korra, and it seems to be similar to the reason why people don't like Boruto in some sense, but I still want to give Boruto a chance, so I should feel the same about Legend of Korra. But if I would watch Boruto before I watch that. Did you finish Dragon Ball Z? Yes. I'm on Super. Like halfway through. Then Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's an epic sci-fi show, lots of space politics. I think you'd be interested in and have fun thinking about. That one has been recommended a few times. I really hope I can watch it someday. I think there's currently a remake happening. Which do you remember more, Naruto or Avatar? Both in broad strokes. I mean, I make jokes about Naruto and not remembering things, but I remember the broad strokes of the story. It's just like characters, like, you know? I could switch my answer to Boruto. I mean, the answers don't influence anything. But I am going to take note. I'm going to ask Odinoko. No, I'll make my own spreadsheet. If he happens to make a spreadsheet, it would be helpful. But I'm going to make my own spreadsheet because I do want to know what people are interested in seeing reactions to. Not just for the sake of seeing reactions, but also things that are specific, like, oh, you would like this, or you would have interesting thoughts on this. Like, sometimes when people recommend shows that I should react to, I don't think they really realize, like, would I have good reactions to that show? Does that make sense? So Shibs' answer is Hajime no Ippo, because being an individual combat sport, you get the intersection of battle shonen and sports. Ooh. Kuroko no Basket, because it's probably the last modern popular sports show missing. I didn't think of a third one before writing, so I'll just back my twin brother Dew into saying Space Brothers. Okay, then this is the conversation about basically The Boys and Invincible, and I don't know what else. We were just talking about superhero things and comics, and this is a very interesting conversation to have. I just don't know, like, what kind of question to ask in the future that can facilitate the conversation. Plus, it's not really anime related. Like, even this question isn't fully anime, but at least people are mentioning some anime and manga, you know? So it's still relevant. But eventually, I know I'm going to run out of, anime only related questions. And I would love to also have talks about themes that some anime touch on, some series touch on, like maybe. Okay, I'm scrolling. Modru's answer is the three shows that I would love to see you react to is Black Clover, Supernatural, Hajime no Ippo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You have to, if you want to send a link, you have to send it to a mod so they can check for spoilers. And then maybe I can react to it, but I'm pre-recording a video right now, so it's a bit difficult. Vasilij answered, phew, this time I will not postpone and forget to answer. These are my answers. Number 1, Black Clover. It's the only big shonen I love that you haven't watched. Plus, I want to rewatch and relive the journey with you. 2, Kuroko no Basket. As a Shib said, I love sports anime in general, and Kuroko was my first experience, so I have a very strong connection to it. 3, Dangers in My Heart. If I remember correctly, you have showed interest in this show before, and it was really nice to watch, so I would say that's it. So I have 3 shows at the moment. There have been more, but these 3 shows are shows that I'm really interested in, but I don't have time to watch them. Like Tamon's B-side, Uma Musume, and Dangers in My Heart. But to be fair, every single season since like 2019. There's at least one show that I don't have time for. The first one was Carol and Tuesday. Did I ever get to watch that? Nope. There's always a show. I would actually love Surprise on the Kuroko Love. Really? I'm not. I've heard a lot of good things. Not about the anime per se necessarily, but the story itself. So, let me see. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I've been streaming for almost 10 hours and my throat is starting to hurt from talking so much. But it would be really cool someday to go to like starting with 2019, which was around the time that I started doing reactions, right? So go to like winter 2019. Which show, boom, Code Geass on my list. Even Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon on my list. But my conversation was more so about like the first season of something. But I guess this could work in some cases. Even Rising of the Shield Hero. I mean, I only watched the first season of that and then I couldn't eventually continue with 3 and so on. So then winter, then there's spring. So for example, in spring, Carol and Tuesday. So that's been on my planning for literally since 2019 winter. Spring, sorry. So never got to watch that. Would still love to watch it. Then we have summer. Given. Never watched Given and I would like to watch Given. I'm glad I watched Astra at least. I'm gonna make a list someday. The ones that got away. Beastars, boom. Easy. Even Welcome to the Demon School Iruma-kun is on this list. So anyway, I'm not gonna go, but the point I was making here was that I could go through every season since 2019 and there would be at least one show I should add to my planning list. I prefer Slam Dunk and Haikyuu as sports anime. I love Haikyuu. Weren't you the one to gift me the Haikyuu art book? I should start writing down who gifted me things. Okay, here we go. Tiago's answer. For what I would most want to see, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, 1988. The show boils down to autocracy versus democracy, exploring all of its strengths and issues on both sides, while written in a way that history buffs would love within a sci-fi setting, and a show I still find extremely relevant to this day. Sounds perfect for me. For what I would actually be most confident recommending is Space Brothers. Dew already brought it up, so I don't have as much to say, other than I'm sure you would love the VI casting, and it's very empowering and inspiring. Seriously though, people becoming freaking astronauts, I think I would just feel, I don't know, maybe it won't inspire me. I will just feel like judging myself. Like, what are you doing with your life? I'm kidding. Then a 3, Katekyo Hitman Reborn. While I admit I'm not a fan of how the show started out with the slice of life slapstick comedy, it's also a show that made its way into my favorites after it switched to the shonen formula and introduced me to a really unique power system for that time. It's probably the best example of a very successful a genre pivot in an anime that I can think of, which Bakuman discussed, where they changed the manga genre when the comedy side of things were not doing so well. Ooh, I loved Bakuman. I read them. I accidentally started with the wrong season, and then I just decided, hey, let's read the manga. And then I read it, and I loved it. Next up is Vert, Twin Peaks. It's way too long, and as a Western TV show from the 90s, it's way outside of the wheelhouse of your community. But if I have a holy trinity of media that I love the most, it's Evangelion. I never know. I always have to say it twice. Evangelion, I don't know. How do you guys pronounce it? Evangelion or Evangelion? It's Gallion, right? Gallion? It's the same with Code Geass or Geass. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Vert's Holy Trinity. Eva, Dorohedoro, and Twin Peaks. Like the other two, it's very weird, but in a completely different way. People tend to love it or find the tone baffling and off-putting. I think you would like it, but my Twin Peaks predictions have been wrong in the past. First, like I'm gonna remember what I said first. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm kidding. I think I said I don't know what I said. G or J. Type it. Type it. That's proof of how difficult it is. Fist of the North Star, the movie, 1986. It's a chopped up and modified retelling of some of the manga and anime, so it's probably not the best place to start. So then why is it the choice? It was my first anime of any kind, though. Oh, and I think that it's fine to start there. It's fine. It's fine. I like how he said that twice. And it's in italics. And then lastly, Angel's Egg, 1985, by the director of Ghost in the Shell and the Yoshitaka Amano, the artist behind Vampire Hunter D character designs and all the early Final Fantasy games. I would love to say what you'd make of it. Wait, what? I'd love to say what you'd make of its all visuals and basically no dialogue storytelling. Oh, I think he meant I'd love to see what you'd make of the all visuals and basically no dialogue storytelling. Oh, I've seen this character role in Waifu Wars before. Cool. I think it would be baffling, to say the least. But some seems such flawless dialogue. Oshi somehow managed to give himself a script credit. Reborn is kind of a point of reference in manga history for that successful redirection. Bakuman even mentions it. Oh, I think Tiago also mentioned that Bakuman mentioned, yeah. Next up, Booty! I have been struggling with this one. Not because I don't have enough options, but because from the many options I have, there isn't anything that is really too ahead of the rest. So they're all very close to each other. In third place, I was going to go with Ranma Half, but I decided to go with a seasonal that is surprising me a lot. Also, giving it a bit of publicity. Reincarnation no Kaben. Since it's recent, I won't go into details, but it's definitely worth checking, and I would love to see you watching. So let's just take a quick peek. Reincarnation no Kaben. Petals of Reincarnation. I'm just gonna take a look at the... Oh, it's the one with... Tiago mentioned it before. I think we talked about it during one of the very first podcasts. Because it was... Yeah, I think I remember Tiago mentioning it. And then, so I'm just gonna show the visual. I won't talk about it again. But it did seem very interesting. And that's another good way to use the podcast. I think it's a great way to talk about anime that, like you said, a bit of publicity. Tiago and I are enjoying it a lot. I think I took a peek here and there at your thoughts on it, but I forget it instantly. Number 2 is the risky choice. I will go with Netflix Castlevania. a Western show, not in Japanese, but very well done. I think you will like it. At the same time, it may have some red flags if the story does not catch you soon enough. Hmm. Mad Rebel says, I already want to change my answer to Korra, from Korra to the OG Fate show for the Saber route. I mean, you can add more answers. Like, literally, I said top 3, but when you comment on this video, make your whole list. I would love to read it. I would love to take note. And if other people comment and add their thoughts, that's kind of the purpose of this. Then, Booty's number 1. This is the easiest one. Rocky movie series, or at least the first 4. But I would be happy if we watched all of them. How many are there? You have been wanting to watch this for some time too. I think they are great movies and always a surprise for any reactor that reacts to them without previous knowledge. Series like when there's more than one, it's always a bit tough because I would be sad if someone started a series and then I couldn't react to the next movie for like a year. But it has happened before and it's still great. Because even people who were like the Rocky movies didn't come out one after the other. I watched Star Wars and Lord of the Rings one per month for 3 or 4 months, right? But they didn't come out that way, so. P.S. I was going to add Pokemon, but I wouldn't even know how to do it. And that's without thinking of copyright problems. It's not a show to binge watch 6 to 8 episodes in a row. And if we tried to watch one per stream as an eating episode, it would take a decade. We have a decade. Next up is Doji. I will choose 3 games. Kingdom Hearts, literally the perfect game for an anime and Disney fan, which I am. Phoenix Wright Attorney, I think it's one of the best games for you. Ooh, yeah, because a lawyer, right? Lawyer, and I don't really know much more than that. Well, it could be good. It has to be a good story. Like, I've heard so much about that game. And then third, Fate Extra CCC is a very good one to explore deeply some specific characters like Gilgamesh. Really? Gilgamesh? Written by the official author of Fate, Kinoko Nasu. It's not your usual typical Grail war. Your goal is to escape the world that you're trapped in with a servant. And in this world, you have a choice of 12 servants for the entire story. So choose wisely your starter. Ooh. Also, this one has a lot of Sakura, if you're a fan of her, which I am. And my only anime would be To Be a Hero X. That one has such a cool concept. I really wish I watched it when it was seasonal. The easiest place for me to add new shows is seasonally. If I didn't watch it within the season, for it to get voted, it has to get voted for later. And that's so rare. Because it doesn't happen often, you know? At least we'll never run out of shows to talk about and stuff. For a manga, my one recommendation would be D. Greyman. It's an old gen shonen started in 2004. A very forgotten shonen, and sadly, in a Togashi case since 2013. We get some chapters here and there. The manga is still continuing, but it's the most unique one I've read. You can see similarities to Vanitas, and I think you already watched that. I did, but I don't really remember anything about it. I remember the characters, I remember some scenes, but I would need a recap if I were to watch another season of that one. Pri-chan! Also another vote for Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's one of the few series that feels timeless. As I've mentioned before, it's a very political, Wait, as mentioned in other messages, it's very political for good and bad. So it's the perfect show for you if you want to talk about that stuff and not only political but social. Apart from that, not only speaks of groups or political movements, but it has a vast range of characters, even more than 100 named. All of those characters are so different. It's scary how they designed so many of them, and you never lose track of who they are. 110 episodes released over a decade. Physical copies sent directly to consumers. This is truly a testament of endurance, quality, and passion. Oh, Mad Rebel is seconding Castlevania. I think Modru also would second that. Maybe Sotos as well? He watches it or has? Prichan number 2, Kare Kano, His and Her Circumstances. This is a 24 episode pure romance show released in 1998, directly by the team who worked on Ava, and years later, Gurren Lagann, Little Witch Academia, Promare, Cyberpunk, and Dungeon Meshi. In spite of, wow, that is a good track record. In spite of being so old, it is the most creative show I have ever seen. Every episode, it's like they use an animation technique you have never seen before. It's so innovative. Not only that, but the romance is very good. It makes you feel butterflies, and I feel you barely react to any pure romance show. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. But this sounds like something that I would enjoy regardless. Like, pure romance is very difficult for me because I'm 33 years old. And most pure romances are happening between 18-year-olds, 16 to 18-year-olds. Like I don't think like they do anymore. I don't feel the way they do anymore. Um but this seems like it's not just about the story, it's about the the craft. If every episode is like you could just watch it for that, the creativity. So that sounds great. I've never known that, but I have heard the name His and Her Circumstances. And then Jobless Reincarnation. That sounds familiar. This one was very controversial when it began airing, but after years of rewatching this and other shows, I realized the show is not degenerate or anything. It looks that way from the outside, but once you start watching, this is a red flag. This does not sound like something I want to watch. It looks like a degenerate, but it really isn't. Once you notice, there's not a single character that's sexualized or itchy. Oh, I dropped it? Which one is that? Are you talking about Mushoku? Sorry, what? No, I that doesn't exist. I've never heard about that. Yeah, no. I talked about that during my Oshi reactions. I let me just be very clear. I went into that show wanting to spite people to like it. A few people told me, you don't watch it, you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna like it. And I was like, I will show you how much I like it. So I went into it like wanting to prove people wrong, and I tried to like it. I hate it. I cannot. Just no. There was one thing that started it. Like I was literally reaching for reasons to like whenever something made me feel off, I like tried to look for but. And then one thing happened and I couldn't shake this weird feeling and I went to read. I was looking for the light novel, but I found the web novel in Japanese, like the original. And I asked Panya to translate some things for me. And once I read that, I was done. I tried to keep watching, but I could not. They changed it for the anime, and I can understand why. To make it more palatable, I guess. But once I read that, I was, and everything else that I watched from there was tainted. And I just, no, it's not for me. Are the reactions around? I don't know. Why? Why would you want? I just told you. I summarized it for you. The other day I got a message about it again, and they were like, "I don't think you gave it a fair chance." I don't want even to tell you guys what I replied, but I was being very, very fair and very, very honest. And then they were like, "Oh damn. Well, I still think you didn't do you're not judging it right." Like, it's not for everyone. It doesn't have to be for everyone. Okay, any other tags? Here we go. There's still quite a few. And my throat is starting to die. Tomorrow I'm going to play Pokemon while whispering. Oh, validating. Oh, then you might want to watch my reactions. Yeah, it's probably still on Fansly, but I don't post on Fansly anymore, so it's not really worth the sub. Okay, Ray, Witchblade, Transformers 1, and Puss in Boots: The Lost Wish. I think Espada almost sponsored Puss in Boots once, but apparently it's not the first movie that people love, it's the second one. Shoru's Answer, Blue Exorcist. I fell in love with this manga, and I think you would really enjoy the characters and the story. The anime adaptation was a bit strange and did not do it justice. Remy, Nobody's Girl, Romeo's Blue Skies. Both are childhood anime of mine that I would love for you to check out someday. How many more? Dark Shadow is next, but after that, how many more? I think I should ask for tea with honey, just in case. I don't remember the last time I talked my throat sore. Can I have some rooibos tea or chamomile with honey? Actually, I don't think we have honey. Can you watch the second? Skipping the first seems weird. No, I would have to watch the first. Have to. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. Dark Shadow says, no anime in my answers, seeing as we are fairly aligned in what we have both watched. At least as far as the more highly rated shows go. Number 1, Star Trek. You have dipped your toes into Star Trek a small bit in the past and you enjoyed it. I remember, I think Nox sponsored specific episodes, like literally 4 or 5 episodes. That's another example of something that I wouldn't usually do, but sometimes I just make exceptions if if the reasoning is really good. So I actually reacted literally to just maybe 5 or so episodes of Star Trek, and Nox sponsored that. And it does seem like a show I would really enjoy for the most part. Oh, plus someone sponsored a movie, I think. I'm not as familiar with the original series, but I watched Next Generation and Voyager as a kid, and then Deep Space Nine later as an adult. I think you would really enjoy them all. There are a lot of opportunities for discussions on a variety of topics, which is perfectly suited for your style of reactions and reviews. This is really important. If anime reactions go to shit because of studios and Like if they're shutting down pirate sites and they're coming for reactors next, this is important. No, I'm joking. Maybe not. Like I would probably still try and do reactions, but if I have to switch to reviews for anime, I could do that. That was always the intention of my channel to begin with. But what I intended and what the people want, well, clashes. There are a lot of opportunities for discussions on various topics which perfectly suit your style of reactions and reviews. Number 2, Stargate. I introduced you to this world with a movie sponsor, so obviously I would love to see you continue into the series, at least with SG-1. The earlier series don't take themselves too seriously, and with good characters and the story universe, it makes for a fun watch. And then 3, Robin Hobb's Realm of Elderlings. Robin Hobb! You are already introduced to the live ship trader story, but the world is so much bigger and more connected than you realize. Didn't I get you into this series of books, and now you've passed me? I read a little bit of. I still have. You bought me some of the books, right? Didn't you, as a gift? I have Assassin's Apprentice. Wait, I have to show you. I have to brag. Look at this gorgeous collection. No, this is too many things on top of each other. That sounded dirty. Oh, okay, I don't know where to put this. I don't have space. These are just like albums and stuff. Okay. Okay, so these are the first 3. I think book 3 of the Farseer trilogy, book 2 of the Farseer trilogy, and book 1 of the Farseer trilogy. So this is obviously the covers don't all look the same, but if you ever see this in a bookstore, buy it. But there's kind of a lot, so I also have Fool's Errand, The Golden Fool, Fool's Fate, and The Ship of Magic. So a friend of mine got me into the Farseer trilogy. Then later in my life, I found the Live Ship Traders, and that was such the nostalgia that I feel for that point. Like it was one of the best things in my life at that time, you know? It was like an escape, and I don't know, but it was great to read those books at that time. And one of my favorite characters are from there. Actually, a few of my favorite characters, and it's been so long though. I miss them. Now that you brought them up again, I miss them. So you're talking about Realm of Elderlings. The world is so much bigger and more connected than you realize. It would be so much fun doing a read along of the entire series. While I was still commuting to work, I finished the series, and it is well worth the read. Yes, you should read it. It's so good. I think I had read the first trilogy but didn't read Live Ship until you mentioned it. Oh, okay. So we both... Cool. I'm glad, though. I really liked Live Ship Traders, but I would have to read everything again. It's like a trilogy and a trilogy set in the same world but at different times, and then there's a trilogy in the middle, but I don't know when you're supposed to. How did they come out? Like, was it this one first and then this one and then later this one? And I've never heard about Realm of Elderlings. Where does that fit in? Okay, I'm checking. Okay, here's Mittens. Mittens Skippy. Hi. This is for the Christian of the Week. I have a laundry list of anime and movies I could recommend, but I try to narrow it down to shows that I think you would like, or at the very least, would put a smile on your face. I thought of some films, but I didn't want to be too greedy. That being said, I ended up having a little over 3 if that's okay. No problem. I just put 3 so that people have something to aim for. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3. But if you want to ever add more, it's usually fine. Especially if you comment on the video, you can comment your whole list. But reading through everything is a bit difficult if everyone gave like 10 lists, a list of 10. But, I can read the comments at my own leisure, so. But I don't mind for today. Tomo-chan is a romance comedy that I feel you would really love. Right out the gate, we learn that Tomo has a crush on this boy, who not only is her neighbor but a childhood friend. The problem being, as hinted in the title, she's such a tomboy he can only see her as one of his guy friends. But is that really the case? So I know Juno really likes that show, and it has been recommended before. It was on a poll in the past. But sadly, it did not make it, as most shows, sadly, If only I could react faster. But I talk so much. But see, like, think about this hour. I could have reacted to 2 episodes in this hour, but you can't just pump out show after show after show. You want to talk about shows and genres and movies, and like, my whole purpose for being here is not just to sit here and react like a machine. I like watching the shows, but I want to spend more time talking about shows and themes and all kinds of things. Yeah, that's consuming is fun, but reflecting and communitying, discussing, engaging, like, that's what makes it like worth it. I didn't do question of the week yesterday. It's today. It's now, in fact. Gravity Falls is technically a cartoon, but it is really, really good. Without spoiling too much, we follow these 2 twins. Sorry to interrupt the message that I'm reading, but I've heard many good things about the Gem show, the Star Butterfly show, the Imagining the Finn and the dog, Adventure Time. There's a few shows that I've heard a lot of good things about that look like, oh, I would enjoy that. But there are also other shows like BoJack Horseman and Rick and Morty that other people seem to really, really love, but probably they don't, I don't know. But then again, I really like Futurama and The Simpsons because I watched that a bit as a kid and those things were funny. I did not like South Park though. That shit scared me. Okay. So anyway, Gravity Falls. We follow 2 twins who, if I remember correctly, are on vacation with their uncle, who's a bit of a con artist. At first, they fear it's just another boring summer, but after discovering a mysterious book, they soon find themselves constantly wrapped up in various mysteries and paranormal conspiracies within the town of Gravity Falls. I think one of the major appeals to the show is how they leave various ciphers through each episode for the viewers to not only find, but decode on their own. Personally, it's like a modern 2000 take of Scooby-Doo mysteries. Ooh, I loved Scooby-Doo! I watched so much Scooby-Doo as a kid, guys. So much Cartoon Network in general. Freaking Cow and Chicken. Even like, what else did I watch? I Am Weasel was with Cow and Chicken, and the Flintstones, the Jetsons, like so much Cartoon Network. And then Link Click is an anime that's heavily slept on, in my opinion. It's a very unique blend of action and mystery, though I'm not sure if it's ever explained. There's 2 boys who have a unique ability that complements each other. Via a simple picture, one guy can send the other back in time to temporarily control or assume the role of the person in the photo. Oh, through those means, they're able to solve mysteries, such as kidnapping or murders, offering closure to clients. Ooh, that sounds very good. To be honest, the first season is a bit slow, but things really pick up during the second. Art-wise, it's very similar To Be a Hero X in design, and the fact that it's a Chinese anime as well. I know there's a third season, but I have not properly watched it. And I know you said three is three, so consider these simply honorable mentions. Skip and Loafer is a personal favorite, a really nice, slow paced show with a lot of depth and introspective growth amongst the cast. Plus, the artwork is very easy on the eyes. It's not quite the Ghibli, but it gives off those vibes. One episode in particular makes a small nod to the movie My Neighbor Totoro. Then A Sign of Affection, or the one with the like signing, like cause Dexter's Lab, Ed and Eddie. Yes. There's this one, every time someone says Dexter's Lab, there's this one where Mandark sings, and there's one where Dee Dee sings, and there's this one really, really creepy one where someone's imaginary friend, like, becomes this, they go to space or something, and then he becomes like, he gets melted or something, and he becomes this big blob, and then he screams like, rah! And then I'm like, ah! Oh my god. Some of that shit's wild. Still have nightmares. A Sign of Affection. It's a very unique romance. Without giving too much away, it follows a shy girl who has severe hearing loss, but still looks to be independent despite many obstacles that come with it. Her world changes when she runs into this Gojo looking boy who takes a strong liking to her and seeks to make her a part of his world. It's very cute, especially the first half, and the artwork has a soft appeal to it. I'm not sure if you'd be into it, but the girl does have pink hair. And then Cool Doji Danshi, aka Play It Cool, guys. The episodes are super short, less than 10 minutes each, but the comedy makes it worth the watch. I was not an hour. It's been 90 minutes. But
Okay.
I'm having fun and I'm almost finished.
Okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth.
Okay. Have a nice time. See you now. Play it cool, guys. The episodes are less than 10 minutes each, but the comedy makes it worth the watch. If anything, it could be something you check out in your spare time, or like an eating anime, like what I needed earlier. There are others, but I've already cheated enough. Maybe once all of this is done, you could check out the trailers that sound the most promising. As always, I hope you're having a blast. It would be cool if I can make if if I can make a list of all these shows. It would be very cool to do a separate video reacting to the trailers of everything, or as much as possible. But it can't be for a podcast because I'm not going to edit the video and I can't react to trailers without editing. Okay. Walid says Danganronpa, the games. I have two of the games, I think. I've never had time to play. Komi-san and Mirai Shonen Conan, one of my childhood anime from Studio Ghibli. I think we've talked about that one before. I don't know why he's laughing at wait. See my third option. I don't understand the joke. I feel like it's an inside joke. Espada, why? That's a lie. Why? I reacted to One Piece live action. The first one. So, your actual answer, Detroit Become Human. It is a choice-based game. It puts the destiny of both mankind and androids in your hands, taking you to a near future where machines have become more intelligent than humans. What do you mean yesterday? Like the near past? I'm joking. Every choice you make affects the outcome of the game with one of the most intricately branching narratives ever created. That is the Steam description. So, what can I say about the game? I was skeptical when someone suggested it to me, but I was blown away by all the choices you can make and the story. So, here's an example. If your character asks too many questions or too few, that will affect the playthrough and the ending. There are three main characters, Marcus, Connor, and Kara. Is that Connor supposed to be? They each have their own separate stories that might connect or might not. If one, the main character, dies, you will continue with the other two, or you can kill them all early. It's in your hands. They use full performance capture, so there might be actors that you recognize. What? That sounds crazy. Full performance capture. And then last but not least, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes! Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go! Even me, I want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Digimon, Pokemon, but I'd rather play Pokemon than watch it. I'm not going to be reacting to trailers today, but keep it. Read the first comment. What tea did he make? I think that's chamomile. I'm not sure. Read the first comment. My name is Kara. My name is Connor. My name is Marcus. My name is Jeff. Am I supposed to understand? Sony is fully focused on story-driven game, which is nice. EA, single-player games are no longer relevant. Sony, hold my beer. Are we banning Espada now or later? What do you mean? He's been banned. I don't know how he's still around. Did you not know that I did react to the live action? I thought we talked about it. Do you mean the second season? I think Odinoko still has an answer. There we go. I got anime. I got one anime, one show, and one movie, but it's all animated. Okay. Number 1, Zoid's Chaotic Century, mostly for personal and sentimental reasons. But on the rewatch lately, I realized that the characters have very satisfying arcs, and the development of the fights is very interesting to see. So this is Zoid's Chaotic Century. Pull up that meme? Okay. Robotic animal things. This one's better. Oops. This one's better. The Owl House. I have heard about this. Very good things. Similar to, like, I mean, I've heard it from the same fandoms as the Gem ones and Gravity Falls. I've heard a lot about Owl House. I can only describe it as Western isekai, or maybe modern Wizard of Oz. It's the story of a girl who discovers a fantasy world and becomes a witch. I really like the way it plays with expectations and develops the world without feeling as repetitive or generic as one might expect from the premise. And then The Iron Giant, which I think Spyler wanted to sponsor this at some point, but it was like bad timing. It was around my birthday month, but we went with something else. But I do know that he also wanted to sponsor it. Everyone keeps recommending it, and I haven't seen it, so it must be great. Really? You went with something you haven't even seen? Interesting. Yes, I reacted to the first season. I thought it was I could have sworn I like said this to you. I reacted to the first season. But as far as live actions go, I thought they did a good job. Like, they respect the source material as best as they can. The reason why I don't want to continue watching it is because I just One Piece gets more and more fantastical and crazy. And I don't see the point of live action when most things are computer generated anyway. Like, then it's not live action anymore. By the way, I watched it in Japanese. Because I can't. Luffy needs to sound like Luffy. I thought it was probably like, this is as good as live action's gonna get, but I watched 1,000 episodes. I read 1,000 chapters. Okay, I didn't read it. I probably read about 500 chapters since I didn't read everything. I read from a specific arc. But my point is, I've experienced the story twice. The source material and the anime adaptation. And there is just no way that a live action can adapt. Like, now I need to enjoy a story for the third time that's changing. It has to change things. I can barely remember the details, very important details. If I'm going to rewatch it, I need to rewatch the anime. I need to reread the manga. I'm not going to dedicate. There's 1,000 things I want to watch. Look at all these amazing things. Listen to these premises. Now I need to relive a story for the third time. They're never going to be able to finish it in the first place. They're going to have to change things. And it's going to... No, I just don't have time. But I'm really, really glad it's bringing in new fans. I think that's its intended purpose, and it's doing a great job at that, but it's not for me. I liked the first season for what it was. I didn't watch it with high expectations, so I was like, wow, at least they respect the source. But yeah, was enough for me. I'd rather rewatch One Piece. I'd rather rewatch Naruto. I'd rather rewatch Dragon Ball Z. I'd rather I'd rather play Dragon Ball Z games. I'd rather play Yakuza 0. I'd rather watch Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, play Pokemon. There's 1,000 things I'd rather do than experience the same story diluted for a Western fan base. That is not even, half of it isn't even live action. Okay, rant over. Live action to me means it's real. It's the same reason like freaking Little Mermaid, but everything's underwater, so everything is, what is real? One character. I'm joking. I'm exaggerating, but I respect, though, they really cared about majority of the characters' casting and doing the characters justice. They worked with Oda, you know? You can tell that it's not like a lot of Western things where they tell you in your face, we don't care about the books. We're doing something different. Like, so then fucking write something different. Stop taking well-known, well-loved, what do you call these things, IPs? And then saying, yeah, actually we're going in a whole different direction. Like, you know, I know why people love this, but we're gonna change that. So at least the One Piece live action, they really respected the source material, but it is not physically capable for them to adapt everything. And it's not capable, when I say everything, I mean everything in terms of length and everything's in terms of detail. So it's just not for a fan that has only seen the anime once in my life. I'd rather spend my time elsewhere. But it's great for bringing in new fans. I have heard of people giving One Piece a chance because the live action made them interested. And before it was like, no, it's too long. The writers of the Far Cry TV show said people skip cutscenes, so we're not basing the series on the games. Who the I play 4 cutscenes. Who are these people? I don't have time. The Mentalist is live action. Lion King is just over-processed CGI. And I feel like they're gonna, the further the series continues, the more they're gonna have to lean into that. And the more they're gonna, like, the arcs get longer. They're gonna have to condense. It's not gonna be recognizable anymore. So it's not for me. Those are the same people that think manga is a magical thing that nobody knows about. I knew where you were going with that. Oh shoot, I need to roll. Okay. I think I got everyone right. Great answers. I'm definitely going to make the same. Odinoko has been making spreadsheets of the games, of everything, all the answers. And I'm gonna, at some point, I need to like take the links, put them in the description of the videos. And I especially for videos like this, I want to keep the answers. If I'm ever at the loss for, oh, what do I react to next? Boom. I don't think it's possible. If they couldn't even properly do 8 seasons of freaking Game of Thrones, there's no way they can do. It's just people age, people change, industries change. Like, I just don't see it. Why would I dedicate my time to that? No. I haven't even seen Star Trek. I haven't even rewatched Lord of the Rings 5 times. I haven't even continued playing Yakuza 0. There's too many things. I really hope they end with season 3. Why would they? If it's making them money, why would they? Haven't even played Zelda. That's like being an anime fan 101. You have played Zelda. And I haven't. I'm a fake fan. Fake otaku. I meant like otaku 101. Otaku have played Zelda. To be fair, I did play like a little bit of Zelda as a kid, but I never finished a game. I don't know. I didn't even know who Zelda was. I thought Zelda was Link. Until a few years ago. Weeb has seen Eva. I still haven't touched it. True. But I wonder if you'd like it. I think you might like parts of it. Okay. It is 1 a.m. almost. I have been streaming for 10 hours and 40 minutes. It's been fun. It went by like that. And I still have a Pokemon Day planned for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna do Witch Hat as well. So I'll see you guys around like just after 6:15 p.m. South African Standard Time, after I reacted to Witch Hat Atelier. And yeah, we're going to continue the journey. We made it to Lavender Town last time, so I don't know what that was. I'm tired. Don't judge me. Okay. Thank you, Odinoko, Booty, Dark Shadow, Walid, Espada, Mad Rebel, everyone who was here live, and to everyone who answered my questions. Thank you for making Question of the Week very fun every week. It's not a popular segment, but I love to get to hang out with you guys and just talk about all the stuff that we love. And hopefully I have more time in the future to, you know, delve into these things that you guys love. Because, I mean, some of the Question of the Week, we talk about shows that we love, genres that we love, and so on and so on. Games. I mean, that one game video was 2 hours long, you know? This is an hour and a half. But today, it was more about learning about things that some of it I've heard about, some of it I've never heard about, but it piqued my interest. And it's exciting to know that there's still so much fun things to explore and have conversations about. Now we know why Cherry went to bed early. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Have a very nice try. Oh, you won the riddle. Congratulations. I'm gonna win. I'll probably do the poker riddle tomorrow during the stream because I'm too tired right now. If I do it now, it's gonna take me 10 minutes to guess the freaking Pokemon. But here I go. See you guys next time. Oh, I actually went through some of the old podcasts and there was quite a few interesting questions that I'm gonna bring back at some point. And then it would be fun to maybe compare some answers. Like, I even want to, I want to have my own answer and then find out what did I say back then, and then I want to see, like, have I changed a lot? Did I say the same thing? Like, you know? That'll be fun. A fun little thing to do. Do I have an answer today? Like 3 things. Yakuza 0. I want to play Yakuza 0 someday. I want to rewatch a bunch of stuff. But I want to rewatch most of it with my kids, but a little bit far away. And then third, well, I'm already playing Pokemon. That was on my list for a long time, so yeah, those are my answers. Good luck, Odinoko. I almost said Idinoko. Get a good one, and then you can start playing all the games.